Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So I had recently got a question related with a stretched succulent. Now the person had asked me whether a stretched succulent will it grow new leaves on the stretched part once it's exposed to the right amount of light. Let's say after acclimating it's put out in morning direct sunlight, will it put out new leaves on the stretched part? Now unfortunately that's not going to happen. For that I have an example over here. Now this is my Echeveria neon breaker, which was stretching when I initially got it. It was a small little pup and it started to stretch, so I put it out in morning direct sunlight, and now you can see the moment it started receiving a lot of light, the upper portion has started to become compact and it started to get colored. But the place where it started to stretch, it was not going to have any leaves on it. These were the original leaves when it was starting to stretch, and these were the original ones that were present on them when it was stretching. So those are the only two leaves that are present. However, it's going to be a very long stem like this. So there won't be any new leaves that will be growing on this stem that has been stretched. Even if you're going to expose it to morning direct sunlight or the right amount of light, or even if you're putting it under the grow light, the portion which has stretched will not put out any leaves. And that is the reason why I advise you to go ahead and cut off the stretched part, so that once you cut this part, there will be new growth over here, but there won't be an continuous growth. It will be something like a stem cutting. So you're going to have multiple pups on that area. Now I'm not going to cut this guy because it's a very small one, so I'll let it grow because as of now the crown area is not very heavy. It's pretty much bearable by the succulent. It's not going to bend more. Probably once it reaches a good size, I will then chop it off, because right now I think it's probably let's say 3 or 4 centimeters in size. So the stretched part looks like a pup, but it's actually the same succulent, but it has stretched. So now what I can do is I can just let it be as it is, because the succulent is doing quite well. But if you tend to see something like this, and let's say that your crown area is getting very heavy, then you can just chop off this part just beneath, like this part. You can just chop it off so that it can later on put out roots and you can get another plant. But if you're going to chop it off, you'll have to chop it off right over here, because if you're going to chop it up over here, then it's going to have the same type of growth. It will again have pups on that, but it won't grow anything on this particular part of the stem. So it depends upon you if you want to cut it off. If the crown area is becoming very heavy, you can cut it off, or if it's very small like this, it's absolutely fine. You can just leave it as it is. When you tend to look at it from this angle, it looks like the succulent has not stretched, but it's actually stretched a lot. So I'm going to leave it as it is. Probably once when it tends to grow a little bit more bigger, I will chop it off. So as of now, I'm going to leave this pup as it is. So I hope that this answers the question. Yes, this stem is not going to put out any pups. It's going to be just plain like that. It's just going to be an elongated stem like that. So if you want, you can chop it off, or if you want to keep it as it is, you can leave it as it is. Only thing is that if the crown tends to get heavy, then the stem might start to bend and break. So at that point of time, if you want to chop it off, you can definitely chop it off. I've already made a video on it on my Graptopelaum ghosty. I will put the link in the description below. You can check it out, how to chop off a stretched succulent. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.